She sat by the path for years, not as a watcher, but as a watcher who waited. Why did a single act of tasting a berry become a turning point in a story older than history? Shabari is named in the ancient tale of Rama, an old woman, a devotee, a social outsider. She is described as a forest dweller, a seeker who lived on the margins, not born into priesthood, not schooled in ritual. Her life was simple, her practice was time. Waiting was her daily discipline. She polished stones into prayer, she listened to the river, she mapped devotion across seasons. This is the first layer, the visible one. Now, the hidden angle. Shabari is also an experiment in religious belonging. Her presence exposes a tension between authority and intimacy, between temple codes and human hunger. She is both the quietly devout and the quietly disruptive. What if her waiting was less about patience and more about protest? The world around Shabari practiced purity like law. Offerings had rules, rituals had gatekeepers. Only certain hands could touch sacred food. Only certain mouths could prepare it. A tasted berry, no matter how small, became a symbol of impurity. For the orthodox, it was disqualifying. For Shabari, the dilemma was immediate and human. She had nothing to offer but a single fruit. She had no gold, no temple utensils, no high birth. Yet, she had time. She had the knowledge of waiting. She had the habit of tasting what life gave her and then placing it before the shrine. To give a tasted berry was to risk shame. To withhold it was to deny herself the offering that meant the most. This is the deeper tension between the rules written by priests and the rites written by the heart, between exclusion and access, between law and love. Could a small act of imperfection become the clearest proof of devotion? The moment arrives. Rama walks the forest path. Shabari sees him. Her breath shortens. Her hands move. She rushes to collect berries. She tastes them to ensure sweetness. She removes the seeds that might sting the lips of a king. She offers what she has, imperfect, tested, prepared with love. This is the choice. To give what she has tasted, human, intimate, or to wait for a purer offering that might never come. She chooses immediacy. She chooses intimacy. She chooses an offering that bears the mark of her life. She gives Rama a berry she had tasted herself. Rama's response matters. He accepts, he blesses, he shares her food with no ritual scruple. That acceptance is not a trivial detail. It is a ceremony of reversal. Why would a god accept what priests would reject? Rama's acceptance reframes the rules. Devotion becomes not a function of birth, not a stamp of purity, but an equation of intent. A tasted berry becomes sacred because of the love behind it. This revaluation shakes social order. It opens doors. It argues implicitly that ritual correctness is subsidiary to moral sincerity. In literary retellings and devotional traditions, Shabari's moment is often cited as proof. Proof that the divine remembers the devotion of the marginalized. Proof that a single act of waiting and offering can reshape a culture's understanding of who belongs. But change here is not only religious, it is also political and social. When the highest figure in the narrative accepts an offering from an outsider, the invisible rules lose some of their force. Practices that excluded now face reinterpretation. Language of purity gives way, slowly, to language of accessibility. Did one small berry start a quiet revolution? Let us step back and look. Shabari's story operates on multiple registers. First, ritual theory. Religions create boundaries for community. Boundaries stabilize systems. They define insiders and outsiders. But boundary tests also invite exceptions. Those exceptions illuminate values not fully expressed in doctrine. Shabari is an exception that teaches. Second, anthropology of devotion. Devotion is embodied time. It is habit. It is the slow accumulation of attention. Shabari's waiting is practice, not passive, not idle. It is repetitive labor of focus. In that sense, waiting is not absence, it is a sustained presence. Third, gender and social status. The tale centers an elderly woman from outside elite circles. That matters. It suggests that religious life is not the exclusive preserve of learned men. It gives voice to alternative spiritual economies where worth is measured in lived fidelity, not pedigrees. Fourth, theology of the imperfect. The tasted berry complicates purity theology. It suggests that the divine may value intention over form. This is not a call to abandon forms. Rather, it is an argument to read forms with nuance. Sacred practice and human need exist in tension. The story resolves that tension not by dissolving one or the other, but by elevating the moral substrate beneath them. If divine acceptance hinges on intention, how do we read ritual failures? As historians and as listeners, we must do two things. First, attend to context. Read the tale against the grain. Notice who is present and who is missing. Second, notice function. Ask why a story like this persisted. What social anxieties did it address? What consolations did it offer? Shabari's faith is not merely piety. It is a social experiment encoded in myth. It is a question posed to orthodoxy and an answer offered by an encounter. Waiting, in this tale, is an ethical technology. It teaches discipline, it creates presence, it bridges the private and public. It offers a model of belonging that is earned by fidelity rather than conferred by rank. When we hear the story now, what do we choose to honor, the rule or the heart that breaks it?